if this were a course, I would be linking what you've said back to like my next topic or my next project. But I get to follow your lead today. So actually have my own answers to these questions from when I was an undergrad that I want to share. Um, but I'd also like to just respond because I didn't know, of course, what anybody would say, but just responding to what I'm hearing. I want to just throw out the thought that the relevance piece is your existence, who you are. That's where the relevance lives. And the seniors have started to figure that out because they're saying, yeah, I'm studying this, but I'm going to do this. But you know what? It was useful to do that because it happened in you. It's where it lives. And so the scariness is when that's on the outside, but knowing that over time, you're going to, this information that, and your professors mean well, we mean so well. We really want to share these things with you because we care about them. But it can sometimes maybe feel a little bit like it's being enforced in a certain way because you got the syllabi and you got the requirements and you got the grades. You got the whole structure here, an academic structure that can feel like it's aimed at you, like you're a target rather than a vessel that's doing its own mixing. But I just want to put the thought out there that there may not be any wrong answers, even though the external structure tries to imply that there is. So just to consider that. You'll make of that what you will, but I'm hearing differing ways of reacting to sort of what the outside is saying about what the value of what you're doing is. So, but I wanted to share, this is a piece, something I recommended faculty to do, which is tell your own story to put the context that this isn't just about you, it's about any student. So, because I was an undergrad once, and I was so careful. I was so careful. I was way too careful. Well, no, I was who I was at 18, 19, 20. I shouldn't be hard on her. I thought, no, you can't take 300 level courses till you've taken the 200 level course. You have to, there's an order. I thought there was an order to things that would be safest to follow. And it took me a while to understand that may not have been true. So I remember being very careful. I'd be curious to know if you thought about things that you've already thought about before and got to take a little further, or if this little process pointed to something that was slightly different than something you've contemplated before. I would just be curious to hear.
I would say I've thought about these things before. Yeah.
I think the one that I brought in, the example I thought about before, but then when I was here, like saying the thing about the crime and my specific major, I've definitely like thought about it very abstractly before, but it was, I think, something maybe Katie or Claire, I don't know, one of you said that kind of like made me put it to words kind of, or like realize it.
Great.
I've definitely thought about it for myself, but it was cool hearing those same feelings echoed in other people. Because I guess I always think of like you come to college, or like everybody except for me is coming to college and they're majoring in exactly what they're going into, and it's like, no, like that's silly. Everybody is hoping like you coping with these things.
You weren't like other girls.
Oh no, like other girls. Yeah, we're all going through the same or similar things. Yeah.
I mean, because that's the thing. There are so many paths to take in life. There's so many perspectives to gain in life. So here's the thing. It's like, even if you are in a major that is directly relevant to what you're going to study, like I studied theater and I will be going to theater school. But like nothing is going to be a direct, perfect feeder into your life. It's almost like Legos. Like when you're picking up, like,
don't change the shape of Legos, but all right.
I know, I don't think, but you can fit a Lego into any number of structures. If you give me a little orange brick, I can make that like part of a house. I can make it part of a garden. I can make it part of a Death Star. I mean, an orange Death Star, but you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like there are so many different things you can do with it. Like, you know, when kids, they have like, I'm going to go on a Lego metaphor here. You get a whole bunch of different sets, and then sometimes you just mix them together and they just go rogue and build whatever they want with whatever they have. And sometimes you have Darth Vader at your ballet recital.
I go rogue with your life. Put Darth Vader in the ballet recital. Yeah, I mean, this is right there. That's what I'm thinking about, or at least was thinking about with these particular questions. Yeah. Anyone else with just thoughts or feedback about just this very short process that you just did?
I think part of why I really like this conversation is not just looking into the future, but also accepting what we're doing now. You know, like there are classes I'm taking right now that maybe I don't have like negative feelings about, but it's hard to sort of get excited about them, you know? And I think it is nice to sort of feel like, well, hey, this will apply at some point. I will get something out of this. I think that's a nice attitude to come into a class with.
Yeah,
Even if it's learning, it's not for you.
it's an orange Lego piece.
Right, exactly. I don't know where this will fit into my ballet recital, but at some point, it'll,
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I'll go back to it's because you're the relevant point
yeah.
in the diagram. The diagram isn't outside of yourself. The diagram is built from you.
I feel like instructors will often be very comfortable bringing their own relevance to the classroom. Like that is almost their job, right? It's like, we're going to do this class and I'm going to like bring my own expertise and my own like
Exactly.
understanding of the world. And that's going to be what I present in this class.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of students, including myself, sometimes struggle with bringing our relevance, right?
Yes.
Like we are a room full of people who also have interesting
Exactly.
experiences to connect. And like, that is the value that we have in that room. And I think a lot of times students get into that receiving mode of like, oh, I'm just going to like soak up your relevance, you know, but like we have our own.
Great way of saying it. Yeah. And for me, I think professors, all of the folks in the room with you who have been dubbed the leader of the pack for the moment, because their name is on the course listing. This is partly about making space for students to bring themselves into the class. And it's partly like I teach better when I know that students are coming into my class from places that I hadn't even imagined necessarily. Like I'm just a better teacher because there's like a space in my brain for that little tidbit of information of, yeah, this person does computer science. I'm going to talk about zeros and ones, or this person is calculus, and it's like we're going to work with our sine and cosine curves here with the path and space, right? To just know that the thing that helped me understand the thing that I love isn't necessarily the door my students will be able to walk through. So how do I find all those other doors as a way to connect? Yeah. So that's what I've been working on, trying to find words. I'm a dancer, so I'm nonverbal. So finding words for a process that makes the classroom kind of a shared learning space, not just with the professor leading it with their own insights, but finding a way to get more information and also more internal processing for the individuals in the class. So
Thank you, Joe.
I thank you for this. Appreciate your time.
So you need to take off, right?
Yeah, is it
It's
1:30?
1:30. So
Sorry.
that's
Yes.
good. We're going to talk about you when you leave.
Okay, good. Okay, great.
Dr. Stanton. Exciting.
Now you said you've never been to the Blackfriars Theater.
No, I've told you I've been there multiple
you've been
times.
there
I
multiple
interned there.
Okay, right. There was somebody telling me that they had been in Stanton and did not even know there was the Blackfriars
Oh my
Theater
God,
there.
really?
Yeah.
No, that was the reason I applied. Is I've just always really loved that place.
No, it's a special place.
Didn't you say that you don't like it? Like they lost their mojo.
They did.
I'll bring it back.
I'm sure you will.
I will.
All right. Thank you all very much. Have a good rest of your day.
We'll have feedback for you,
Thank you.
next, at the next meeting.
Okay. Is that on Monday, you and I? That's not, sorry, that's not the Monday that we had to move, is it? Did we move
Well,
to,
if it is, we'll do
it'll
something.
be on the Wednesday then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know.
Sorry, my days are just,
No, that's okay.
yeah, so the 25th is when I'm out of town. So we have something on the 27th. Great, okay, cool. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. We can kind of come on back together, or we can stay. Yeah, you guys swing out. Let me turn these off so you can speak freely. And